Hi, I'm Tracy McDaniel. At Choose New Jersey, we work to attract jobs and businesses to our state by promoting New Jersey's world-class advantages for companies big and small. That's why we're proud to support programming produced by the Caucus Educational Corporation and their partners in public television.
Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by AmeriHealth Caritas, parent company of Perform Care. Care is the heart of our work. Celgene Corporation, committed to improving the lives of patients worldwide. Johnson & Johnson, New Jersey Sharing Network, dedicated to saving lives through organ and tissue donation. NJM, auto insurance, homeowners insurance, and more, with a focus on safety and financial stability. Choose New Jersey. Our mission is attracting companies to the Garden State. And by Community Education Centers.
This is One-on-One.
When you first heard that they were doing Charlie Rose and Gayle King, didn't you go, what?
People like laughing at others, so I don't mind if the other is me.
See, you go right into the character. That's what it is.
I'm bringing families together a half an hour each week. Man, I'm doing something special.
And so I do feel successful.
Welcome to One-on-One. I'm Steve Adubato. Back by popular demand, we have our good friend Stephen Jones, who is the president of Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital and the newly named, as we do this program, chairman of the New Jersey Hospital Association, which is a very big deal. So you put in perspective what the Hospital Association is and what the chairmanship really means. It's a big platform.
Yeah. Steve, New Jersey healthcare providers, we're a densely populated state with unique needs, major urban centers, rural centers. As you know, healthcare in our country is changing, and the Hospital Association helps to support its members for promoting wellness, improving quality, improving value. It's a big responsibility. We have great healthcare providers in New Jersey.
What are you facing? I mean, the association is so interesting because Betsy Ryan has been there, the day-to-day person running the operation. When I talk to Betsy, I often think, my God, what a diverse group of members. You know, as you said, urban, suburban, rural. You're an association, but you have diverse interests.
Well, the patient and the community are our main interest, and if we focus on those, we can always find strategies for improving wellness.
Is that the common bond?
That's the common bond. And we also, the association represents post-acute providers as well.
Put that in perspective.
So it's acute care hospitals, children's hospitals, teaching hospitals, long-term care, assisted living, all along the health continuum. The New Jersey Hospital Association is there to support its members.
And the other thing with Steve is that with our partners, we're very much connected to the Edward J. Ill Awards. Every year, Dr. Edward J. Ill, who passed many years ago, but there is an event every year that's held in his honor. He was a great, not just physician, but medical educator, and every year there's an award series that's held, an award event that's held with our partners at MD Advantage. And you won the Medical Executive of the Year award, the Hospital Executive of the Year. I mean, you were the person. Very competitive situation. What did that mean to you?
I was humbled by it. I don't know that I deserve it, but when you look at the legacy of great healthcare leaders that we've had in New Jersey, I'm proud to join that list.
Pakistani and the whole team at MD Advantage, it was a very big deal for that event. And we also recognize people in research and also some students. The other thing is there are scholarships that were given out to people who are going. Speaking of scholarships, can we do the whole thing in medical education? Because the Edward J. Ill Awards also celebrated medical education. And medical education, if you will, vis-a-vis the Rutgers connection, put that in perspective, because there's a lot going on in higher ed with Rutgers, medical school, and medical education.
Steve, thank you. That's really important to me. It's hard to believe we're a year into the merger now, where Rutgers has now 2 medical schools, a pharmacy school, nursing school, dental school, allied health school. That's a really big deal for the state of New Jersey. Not only the health professions, but expanding research. It will expand business and innovation in New Jersey. And that's really important for our citizens.
How so? Give us an example as to what that expansion of medical education would mean, potentially.
Sure.
In a tangible way. You and I always talk about this, like how do we break it down so that the average medical consumer says, oh, so that's what it means to me. What could it mean to a medical consumer or a consumer of medicine in New Jersey or the region?
Steve, right today, 2 hospitals in New Brunswick are working with Rutgers Robert Wood Johnson Medical School and with Rutgers Healthcare Institute. We're looking at the patients that go into emergency departments, about 150,000 a year. We're looking at the data. Who are they? Where do they live? What are their problems? And we're going to create new strategies so we can try to keep them well. We can cut down on readmissions to an emergency room. We can cut down on wasted healthcare resources and keep people well. By being partners with Rutgers, we can analyze that data, we can work with doctors, nurse practitioners, and design new systems of care. That's a real tangible effort of this merger into Rutgers.
It's interesting. It's not just the healthcare landscape that's changing, medical education, the landscape is changing. The other piece that's changing is very interesting. Last time you were here, you weren't in a position to officially talk about a very significant merger taking place with Somerset Medical Center. Talk about that. You are in a position to talk about that now with Robert Wood. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Thank you, Steve. In June, Somerset Medical Center merged into Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital. It's now known as Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital Somerset. We will enhance the care that's provided in that market. There are great doctors, nurses, employees that serve that community. And by putting 2 great hospitals together, we can do even more. We can add value, we can add research, we can add education, specifically concentrating on the needs of the citizens. Let me give you a couple examples.
You anticipate that I always ask for examples, so you just give them anyway now. You know I'm going to ask.
Do you know, it's really important to me that we make it about the patient.
Exactly.
A gentleman was at his job in his community in Montgomery Township in Somerset County, exercising in the morning, got out of the pool, felt really weak, was taken to Somerset Medical Center. His neurologist and his cardiologist treated him quickly. They identified that he had a problem with a torn aorta, and they were able to arrange.
Oh, the aorta is the biggest. That's a huge valve, right?
Right in the heart, Steve. Right. I'm not a doctor,
but big.
It's rare. There's 7,000 aortic tears in our country in a year. His cardiologist there was able to arrange with the cardiac surgeons at Rutgers Robert Wood Johnson Medical School to stabilize him there, transport him to New Brunswick. He had the aorta repaired. He's now back at work in Montgomery. He's living well, doing well. He runs a health food store in Montgomery. But that's what it means to people in the community.
But it's so interesting. There it is right there. So without the merger, without the collaboration, that gentleman may not have had access to that extraordinary clinical care.
He might not have. What the merger does, it lets us enhance that. We will grow cardiac care, cancer care, build orthopedic surgery in the Somerset community. It gives us the chance to do even more by partnering. And that's what's going on in the national environment.
What do you mean in the national environment?
Well, as you know, the cost of healthcare in our country is too high. So what do we do about that? We have to keep people well. We have to keep people out of hospitals by changing our focus on inpatient admissions and doing things that promote wellness, that keep people healthy in their community. And at the Robert Wood Johnson Health System and other great providers in this area, they're doing the same things, and that's what's really important.
Before I let you out of here, quick segue. The Accountable Care Organization movement, is that part of what it is as well?
It is, absolutely, Steve. We have a Medicare ACO, Accountable Care Organization, we call Robert Wood Johnson Partners, and it's in partnership with Rutgers and Rutgers Robert Wood Johnson Medical School. We serve 5,000 patients. What does it do? It looks at the data and how can we use that to improve care? How can we change what we do? Hospitals have served their communities for years, but we have to do it differently. We have to do it better. We have to improve quality and promote value.
But how's, real quick before I let you out of here, is it just a name change, an Accountable Care Organization, or is it actually a different way of doing it?
Steve, it's a system and a different way to do it. First, it starts with the data. Think about it. Great doctors all over the community. He works alone. She works alone. Nobody talks to the local pharmacy. Nobody talks to the VNA. In an Accountable Care Organization, we put all that together. We analyze the data. We have electronic medical records. We have communications mechanisms. And those physicians are now part of a team. with the pharmacies, with the VNA, with the long-term care providers, and it's designed to understand, here's what old man Jones needs, here's how we can serve him better, and here's how we can keep him well. That's very new, Steve.
And that's really accountable.
That's accountable.
Stephen Jones is the president of the Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital and the chairman of the New Jersey Hospital Association. Steve, anytime, come back and give us an update. Appreciate it.
It's great to be with you today.
Good stuff. Stay with us for One-on-One. We'll be right back right after this.
To see more one-on-one programs, visit us online at oneonone.org. If you would like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Steve Adubato, PhD, and follow us on Twitter at Steve Adubato.
He's back again, Dr. Joel Bloom, president, New Jersey Institute of Technology, otherwise known as NJIT. Good to see you, Joel.
Good to see you, Steve.
Every time you're here, we have terrific conversations about where we are and where we are not when it comes to science, technology, engineering, math, otherwise known as?
STEM.
Talk to us, get me up to speed. You visited Utah recently,
right.
And you said during that experience, during that trip, you had an experience that triggered some thinking for you about STEM, where we are, where we're not. Put it in perspective.
So you turned on the television set and had a public broadcasting channel on, and they had a series of commercials advocating the need for young children to be involved in STEM education, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. It's the first time I saw on any medium really advocating for STEM. And they made STEM look fun. They talked about the desperate need in this country for STEM educated young men and women. They talked about the careers, the opportunities, and made it, and you know, again brought good media, good production to a commercial about STEM. And it triggered the thought, and many of us in this business are very familiar with a 2005 report entitled Rising Among or Above the Gathering Storm. And it was a report done at the request of Congress that focused on what did the National Academy of Sciences, Engineering, and the Institute of Medicine think about the status of STEM in this country. The report portrayed a very dismal future for this country.
What year?
This was 2005, and then it was revisited, redone again in 2010.
So it's 8 years, and so it wasn't like it was a new thing.
It's not a new thing. 2005, we saw China become the #1 exporter of high-tech products, surpassing the United States. You begin to look at the size of the workforce in this country focused on STEM as compared to almost all the other industrial countries in the world. We're about last.
So what happens? You see this public this public awareness campaign in Utah, and you say, what? What about us?
Yes. So what about New Jersey? What about other states? New Jersey takes pride in saying, per square mile, we have more scientists and engineers than any other state in the nation. But of course, that's a generation of folks, many of them baby boomers, who are retiring at an amazing rate. We've heard this over the last number of years. Look at the facilities that one time, the R&D facilities in the state of New Jersey. Bell Labs, I think it's still a French-owned company now these days. Somebody had said a lot long ago it's soon to be a mall or a shopping area. No more Sonoff labs. So the whole, and as a result of the economic recession, we saw the R&D in companies in New Jersey and the United States is the first to be reduced as far as expenditures.
What should we do, Joe?
Well, my biggest issue on this has historically been, walk in this state or in this nation into a math classroom, grades 4 through 8. The teacher in that classroom, in mathematics, 7 out of those 10 classrooms that you're going to walk into, 7 out of 10 are not being taught in mathematics by anyone with a math degree or a math certificate. The language of engineering and science is mathematics. If we're not teaching that language, and it's not only the matter of teaching it, it's making it exciting, making it come alive. And if you're not really facile with that body of knowledge, you can't teach it very well. So 7 out of 10 are teachers who really do not have a background in teaching mathematics.
See, actually, as people are listening, Dr. Bloom, they're thinking the problem is even worse than I thought. But as I listen to Dr. Bloom, I'm asking myself, what one thing could and should New Jersey do to not fix, because we don't fix, improve the situation? One thing.
Well, one thing is to get those teachers better prepared to teach mathematics. Now, you could do it one of two ways. You can train those teachers, obviously. A little concern there, many teachers who go into the elementary and middle schools probably did not find math as an area of interest or strength that they had as an undergraduate. So training is one. The other one, which is more costly but yet works, is to bring in the math specialist at critical grades, and those critical grades are the grades 4 through 8. That's where, again, mathematics and young people should have an opportunity to be exposed to the fun of math. It is fun. You can do wonderful things. You can solve problems with mathematics. You can help in your own personal life with mathematics. If math is bad, 7 of 10, in science, it's worse. 9 of 10 are not prepared to teach science. No degree, no certificate, grades 4 through 8. Those critical grades, which is when we interest students in those fields.
Is it a crisis, Dr. Bloom?
It's an absolute crisis. It's an absolute crisis. Look where we are with regard to, again, falling behind other industrialized countries in productivity. 90% of the GDP in this country, 90% of the gross domestic product, what makes our economy click, has to do with science and technology.
And we don't have the teachers who are qualified to do it.
You don't have enough teachers qualified.
Well, there's a
to do it.
disconnect.
A massive disconnect.
Well, where's the great debate going on about this? Other than in the studio.
It's gone on. It's had fits and starts.
Where's the movement?
There isn't any.
Well, you see it in Utah.
So Utah.
Well, you see a public awareness campaign in Utah. Why couldn't we have that here?
We should absolutely have it here. We should have it here, but it also has. Yes, the campaign starts the awareness among parents. Parents are critical in helping children to make decisions about their future career. Universities such as ours, we will have in about July 5th, 6th on through the end of the summer, we'll have 4,000 students on our campus, pre-college students, grades 4 through 12. Again, that 4th grade issue. For us, we're now yielding about 200 freshmen every year from those pre-college programs.
Right.
What's even more important than the number is who they are. They are the diverse women and minority students who are the fastest growing population on college campuses. So pre-college education, responsibility of university, responsibility of parents, responsibility of K-12 education.
Stay right there, Joel. One-on-one will continue with a very different topic, and we'll keep this conversation with Joel. You'll pick it up in another one-on-one program. Stay with us right after this.
To see more one-on-one programs, visit us online at oneonone.org. If you would like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Steve Adubato, PhD, and follow us on Twitter at Steve Adubato.
We are honored to be joined by Phil Villapiano, co-founder of the Foundation to Save the Jersey Shore. Great to have you with us, Phil.
Thank you, Steve. It's fun to be here.
Some folks may recognize you from your great days playing in the NFL. Won the Super Bowl 1976, you just said?
Right.
Tell folks who you played for.
Well, I played for the Oakland Raiders for 9 years.
Oh, that was a nice team.
Oh, yeah.
They never played rough.
Yeah, you know.
Jack Tatum never played rough.
Oh, my. And we're right in his backyard up here now.
Are you ready for this? I'm going to do this. Ready? I hate when I do this. People hate when I do this. You're number 41.
41.
See that? Jack Tatum, number 32.
Number 32.
He gets sick after that.
Yep.
You guys were a great team.
All right, now how about Jack Tatum's first number?
Oh, that's good. See, 41. Look at they put your number up right away.
Oh, they did. Very good.
Jack Tatum's first number. I'm going to say 36.
31.
Jeez.
Who was 32?
It was not OJ. No. Was the other guy? It was the other running back.
He was running back.
It was running back. Was it OJ's friend?
It was a guy named Hewart Dixon.
Hewart Dixon, who used to run with a forearm?
Exactly.
He would give you the forearm like this.
He knocked, oh God, he was brutal. Brutal.
I'm sorry.
And when Jack came to the team, he couldn't have 32.
And so he had
retired.
By the way, talk about the foundation to save the Jersey Shore. And by the way, why are you into this?
Well, Steve, it was nuts. You know, I lived down in Rumson. I grew up in Asbury Park. The storm came right there. I mean, what it did to, I couldn't believe what it did. I mean, I couldn't believe, you know, I'm watching television and they're talking about, you know, it's coming from the south, it's coming from the north, it's coming from everywhere, and it's going to hit.
Right.
And it did. And I just felt so bad for all the people, you know, all the businesses and the people that just got annihilated. It was destruction down there. And unless you lived there, you really didn't get the real feel of it.
So what did you and your friends decide that you had to do?
Well, we just decided let's go put a foundation together, a 501c3, where we can, you know, get some corporations and, you know, people to help us, and they could get a write-off, which is kind of important when you're doing fundraising. We put it together. We got a little help.
Got some funding.
Yeah,
one of our friends, Kevin Cummings, Investors Bank.
Yeah, Investors Bank was beautiful.
They're big.
Absolutely great. Yeah, we got a lot of nice companies to help us. We got our governor helped us.
Governor Chris.
You know, pushing it through pretty quick, so we got it done in a couple months, and then we started raising money. And we gave away a few $1 million.
Where'd the money go? Where does the money go?
We got 2 people that we actually had to pay. Everybody else was a volunteer.
Right.
But the one person that was very, very important was our, let's call her our vetter. You know, somebody that was a social worker that the people, they knew to come to us, but we didn't know how to give away money.
Sure.
It's not easy to give away money.
Sure.
So we got all this money. Who gets it? Who's telling us the truth? You know, who needs it? If there's a million
Not
things.
easy.
So we paid somebody to sit there every day and vet people. And then we have one of the other co-founders, a fellow named Kevin Leahy. They go out together because he was retired, which was great. He had a lot of time. Go meet these people and see what it was all about. And, you know, that became the hardest thing, is how to give money away. And my part of it was just keep raising it.
But Phil, the other thing that really struck me is I know some of the sports teams lost their equipment. I think one of the teams was Point Pleasant.
Yeah. Point Pleasant Beach.
Point Pleasant Beach. I think they lost their equipment. You guys stepped in.
Right.
You got them their equipment, and if I'm not mistaken, they won a state championship.
Yeah, they did. What a tremendous! I'm glad you brought that up, Steve. It's cool because we got one of our guys lives down near Point Pleasant. And he called up and said, "Hey, Phil, you know, what about schools?" I said, well, "What about them? Let's go." And he goes, "Well, tell me what happened." He goes, "Well, you know, Point Pleasant Beach is down low.
That's right.
They had all their equipment in this facility right down sea level, totally ruined. So we called down here. We got the coach, we got the principal, we got everybody together and said, what do you want us to do? Well, we're going to have to cancel our season unless we have some equipment. So Save the Jersey Shore, raised the money, got them their equipment. Went on. Wow. They did not go undefeated because I saw them lose the Shore Regional at the last game, which I think was kind of a setup game. They ended up playing Shore in the state championship and beat them. And Point Pleasant Beach, first time ever state champs. We feel like we had a lot to do with that.
Big deal. Phil, what has this done for you?
Well, you know, as you grow older, you never know when your father tries to tell you stuff, you know, how our fathers were, Steve, right?
Hardcore.
So they tell you things, and now I feel like I'm my father in a way. Philip, you got to give back. When you can help, you help. And I sat there with a fellow named Warren Diamond, this fellow Kevin Leahy. We said, come on, let's do something. Let's give back. And man, it makes you feel like $1 million, and you don't want to stop doing it until the job is done. And that's what we told, you know, part of our mission statement. We're going to stay here. We're going to help people and businesses and communities until the job is done. And Steve, believe it or not, I feel like the job is almost done.
You're still building playgrounds.
Well, we are. We built a beautiful playground in Seabright, and we did that with the firefighters.
Yeah.
And it was
the
called
FMBA.
That was wonderful. Great guys. We got the money. They put the labor in it, and we built a beautiful playground. Anybody living at the Jersey Shore, go to Seabright, right on the ocean. And the ocean's 50 yards from the playground.
That's right.
It's beautiful. So we did that with the firefighters. And so you wouldn't believe it, we kept laughing at how many things came together when you're trying to do the right thing.
Teamwork.
Yep, things come together, and wow, we can help here, we can go there, and we get honored here. We get honored here, we meet another guy gives us money, we gave it over here. Everything worked together, and
I know
it still is.
Sorry for interrupting, I got to ask you, it's a minute left. You win the Super Bowl.
Right.
You make a difference in the lives of people down the Jersey Shore. They're both big.
Yeah, it's fun.
No comparison?
Well, it's different. The Super Bowl, is funny.
But I'm not looking at it, am I?
Yeah, this is Super Bowl.
Oh, no, that's not it.
Yeah,
I got to ask.
That's the first one. That's the Raiders' first ring.
Guys, can you zoom in on it as we're talking? This is it. This is the ring.
That's 76.
Wow.
Yeah. Little diamond for every game we won. So there's 15 little ones, big one for the Super Bowl. Won the AFC West 10 times. There's 5 over there and 5 over there. For how many times we won the AFC West that year. And then on the sides, it's got the positions.
Well, now you win the Super Bowl down the Jersey Shore for helping people.
Well, we're trying.
Hey.
Yeah, we try to help. We love the shore.
He wants it back. He's got to get it back.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by AmeriHealth Caritas, parent company of Perform Care, Celgene Corporation, Johnson & Johnson, New Jersey Sharing Network, NJM, Choose New Jersey, and by Community Education Centers. Promotional support provided by The Record, North Jersey's trusted source, and NorthJersey.com, and by Commerce Magazine. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.